A Conservative MP who last week rebelled over Brexit has submitted a dossier of threats of violence against her to the Speaker as Theresa May and Jeremy Corbyn condemned an increase in intimidation against MPs. A document provided by Anna Soubry and seen by The Guardian includes dozens of examples of threats, including several calls for her to be hanged for treason. The messages have been received since she was called a mutineer on the front page of the Daily Telegraph alongside colleagues and then, last week, voted against the government. Dominic Grieve, who led last week's push for MPs to be given a meaningful vote on the final Brexit deal, also reported death threats to the police, while another MP told The Guardian they had been forced to use a panic alarm in their constituency office. May used a statement to update Parliament on last week's EU Council meeting in Brussels to address the question of intimidation. We are dealing with questions of great significance to our country's future, so it is natural that there are strongly held views on all sides of this chamber, and it is right and proper that we should debate them and do so with all the passion and conviction that makes our democracy what it is, the Prime Minister said. But there can never be a place for the threats of violence and intimidation against some members that we have seen in recent days. Our politics must be better than that. Corbyn highlighted a newspaper front page that accused the 11 Tory rebels of being a group of self-consumed malcontents and asked, "Proud of yourselves?" The Daily Mail, which previously branded members of the judiciary as enemies of the people, is now whipping up hatred against backbench rebel MPs, the Labour leader said. Threats and intimidation have no place in our politics. May said it was a bit rich for Corbyn to intervene, given the abuse of Tory MPs during the election. But the Labour MP for Dewsbury, Paula Sherriff, said this was not a partisan issue. The dossier provided by Soubry is divided into the response she received after the Telegraph accused her and colleagues of being mutineers and those received after she and others voted against the government on Amendment 7. In one message, an individual said they would love to go on a tour of Westminster but can't make enough explosives in time. Another asked if Soubry should be subject to treason charges along with May, Amber Rudd and Philip Hammond. Is there enough rope to hang them along the embankment? Others described MPs as scum, called for deselections and for them to be hung, drawn and quartered, while one used a hashtag naming the Labour MP Joe Cox, who was murdered by a far-right extremist. It said the mutineers had committed treason and their heads belong on spikes outside. Soubry made clear that she wanted to show the Speaker, John Bercow, the scale of the intimidation. "We are in danger of fanatical ideologically driven extremists controlling British politics," she said, claiming that hard-right Brexiteers and supporters of the left-wing group Momentum were using bully boy tactics. The internet provides the means for these extremists to peddle their hatred and paranoia.